welcome you to the United States of America. From the edge of the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the shore of the Pacific Ocean, crossing through scorching deserts and mountain ranges white with snow, there stretches a country of contrasts and wonders that nowhere else can compare. The United States of America, the land of freedom together with countless opportunities, is truly a colorful mosaic of landscapes and cultures that always leaves humanity in awe. Through many generations, that land has ignited grand dreams, opening its arms to welcome millions of people who crave a new beginning. Cities brilliant with lights, majestic deep canyons, ancient primeval forests together with vast grasslands. The territory of the United States appears like a painting diverse to the point of overwhelming, magically transforming across 50 states. In this journey, we will together with you admire the most outstanding destinations of the nation that has created a unique blend between majestic nature and modernity in just a short span of a little more than 200 years. It is precisely the vastness of space and the profound differences between ecosystems that have turned the act of fully experiencing America in a single trip into something impossible, giving birth to the eternal question, where should one begin? Before we begin, we will lead you through the most representative places, truly reflecting the authentic soul and full of surprises of the United States of America. We have a small challenge for you. Which animal is considered the most representative national symbol of the United States of America? Arches National Park. The red-hot desert suddenly turns into a gigantic exhibition hall when sunlight shines upon more than 2,000 massive stone blocks rising toward the Utah sky. The sandstone arches carry within them a history of millions of years, patiently carved without cease by wind together with water. Visitors can stroll along the trails that lead to Delicate Arch, the proud symbol of the state. Among the rock slabs, desert wildlife quietly moves about, while botanists attentively observe the resilient plant species that survive in harsh conditions. When night falls, this place reveals a different face, with a sky sparkling with countless stars like a luminous dome above the landscape. This preserve is a living testament to the endurance of nature and its miraculous ability to change over the flow of time. Sequoia National Park. The giant ancient trees stand proudly soaring high like natural towers, some having existed for more than 3,000 years. This preserve protects the silent giants that have quietly witnessed the rise and fall of countless human civilizations while still standing firm in their own world. The General Sherman tree holds the record as the largest living organism on the planet. It takes up to 15 people joining hands in a circle to fully embrace its trunk. Sequoias often survive fires thanks to their thick bark that protects the core. And strangely enough, they need fire to maintain their lineage because flames cause the cones to burst open, releasing seeds to the ground. Black bears lumber along searching for food among the massive trunks, while park rangers lead visitors weaving through the forest, where sunlight barely reaches the ground. The tranquility here is only interrupted by the sound of wind rushing through the lofty canopy, or occasionally by the dry crack of a pine cone hitting the earth after falling from a height of 80 meters. New Orleans. Here, jazz melodies flood every alley like the never-resting heartbeat of the city. The warm air holds hundreds of years of historical imprints, faintly carrying the scent of hot beignets and the ringing sound of brass horns from afar. The French Quarter stands out with its characteristic wrought iron balconies and cobblestone walkways that recall a bygone era. Yet only when the sun sets does the city truly reveal its deepest soul. Urban Street. Colored lights together with laughter and voices completely take over the entire night space. Meanwhile, the clubs along Frenchmen Street welcome artists who breathe soul into every single note, as if the melody is gently gliding over the surface of the Mississippi River. Nevertheless, this place still retains a mysterious quality that is hard to explain. The cemeteries with above-ground tombs and the lingering voodoo rituals blur the boundary between reality and legend, much like the mist that blankets the river at dawn. The city appears as a separate universe, woven from captivating contradictions and continuous surprises, where anyone can easily lose themselves in an atmosphere completely unlike any other region left on the planet. Badlands National Park. The terrain surface here cracks open into countless sharp peaks and jagged mountain ridges resembling an otherworldly scene, while wind whistles through the surrounding grasslands. Fossil remains lie hidden within the exposed sedimentary rock layers, revealing ancient creatures that once moved across this place millions of years ago, when this area was still a tropical ocean. In this area, elevated boardwalks stretch across massive rock formations, allowing visitors to observe the erosion process that silently continues to carve the landscape every single day. In addition, herds of bison slowly wander across the grassy clearings, linking the present day with the ancient history of this land. Finally, weaving among the dry, cracked rock formations, tiny bright flowers together with tough plant species still manage to cling on, bringing life and color to this arid yet utterly enchanting territory. San Francisco. This metropolis is strongly shaped by the image of the magnificent Golden Gate Bridge. Here is a city full of symbols and famous for its unique cultural blending. The red-painted bridge stretches across the sky, not only an outstanding engineering achievement, but also the core symbol of this land. The vintage cable cars persistently climb the steep hills, offering passengers sweeping views of the bay and ever-changing scenery at every turn. These time-marked vehicles create a living connection with the history of this place. Fisherman's Wharf is the bustling heart of the harbor, where fishermen start work from early morning while visitors get to enjoy freshly caught seafood right at the many eateries and stalls along the waterfront. The city is also an important center of culture and arts, with the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, together with numerous theaters presenting everything from traditional ballet to the latest Broadway musicals. Distinctive neighborhoods like bustling Chinatown and history-rich Castro lay bare the diverse faces of the big city, each area possessing its own personality and story. When walking through those streets, one feels the spirit of a place where difference and progress always go hand in hand, creating an urban space that never stops renewing itself and embracing every idea. Maroon Bells. The mountain peaks reflect onto the calm lake surface when the brilliant dawn light appears. This is the most photographed scene in North America. Visitors often arrive early to capture the moment when light turns the water into a mirror of 1,000 colors. In autumn, the aspen forests turn blazing gold, creating a breathtaking contrast with the sedimentary rock layers. while wild animals freely roam the highland meadows, while nature lovers follow trails stretching for miles into the surrounding wilderness. In winter, pure white snow covers the entire scene, completely transforming the area's appearance. Therefore, this place recounts the geological journey that formed the Rocky Mountains and is still quietly shaping this sacred natural region in Colorado. Big Sur. Lying between San Francisco and Los Angeles, this stretch of coastline ranks among the most beautiful on the planet. The Santa Lucia Range plunges abruptly down to the Pacific Ocean, producing spectacular vistas at every winding section of Highway 1. Famous bridges like Bixby Creek Bridge seem to hang suspended between sky and water. Secluded beaches, reachable only by steep trails, offer a rare tranquility in California. The massive redwood forests in Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park form majestic natural cathedrals, while McWay Falls pours straight into the ocean in an almost unreal picture. For many decades, painters, writers, and those seeking meaning have received abundant inspiration from the landscape here. Therefore, this land is not merely a stopover. It is a journey that touches the very edge of emotion. A place where the primal power of nature is displayed most completely and most intensely. Olympic National Park. Located in the state of Washington, this preserve is a perfect mosaic made from many different ecosystems. Here converge wild coastal strips battered by strong Pacific waves, snow-white mountain peaks, together with temperate rainforests filled with giant ancient trees. Early morning, light mist gently coils around the trunks of coniferous trees, creating a scene straight out of a fairy tale. Visitors easily encounter majestic Roosevelt elk leisurely stepping across meadows dotted with wildflowers along the shore. In the distance, massive sea stacks rise from the water. When the tide recedes, they reveal tiny worlds teeming with life among the tide pools. Here, nature still holds absolute dominion, becoming an ideal refuge for both countless animals and humans who long to reconnect with the pristine environment. That is why this area remains one of the very few places on Earth where traces of humankind are almost non-existent. Chicago. Sitting on the shore of Lake Michigan, the metropolis, called the Windy City, possesses a world-famous skyline with impressively soaring towers. Here are preserved unique architectural works such as the magnificent Willis Tower, together with pioneering designs by architect Frank Lloyd Wright. The heart of Millennium Park is Cloud Gate, commonly known as the Bean, a gigantic metal droplet-shaped sculpture that reflects and transforms the entire surrounding urban scene. The Chicago River, with its characteristic emerald green color together with the movable bridges, forms the very heartbeat of the city, opening the way for architectural boat tours to explore its stunning layout. When night falls, twinkling lights turn the space into a magical painting, while the stylish River North District and rooftop bars offer panoramic views together with refined cocktails that last until morning. Moreover, every neighborhood here carries its own distinct mark and keeps the stories of immigrant communities that chose this land to build their future. It is those very districts that recount the journey of faith and new beginnings, together weaving the vibrant, multicolored cultural tapestry of the metropolis. Philadelphia. Often affectionately called Philly, this is the city where United States history intertwines smoothly with contemporary life. It was precisely this land that gave birth to American democracy. Visitors can step into Independence Hall, where the Declaration of Independence was signed, and gaze upon the Liberty Bell, the immortal symbol of the longing for freedom. The Art Museum, made famous by the movie Rocky, safeguards a series of major masterpieces. Furthermore, vibrant murals cover the entire city, turning streets into genuine open-air art galleries. Every district here carries its own separate story. From the leafy boulevards of Rittenhouse Square to the narrow historic alleys of Old City, this place always retains its approachability, blending history and the free-spirited pulse of everyday life in perfect harmony. Yosemite National Park. Nestled in California's Sierra Nevada range, this preserve is a precious jewel of nature with massive granite cliffs, high-altitude lakes, and powerful waterfalls. The scenes here rank among the most iconic in the country. El Capitan, together with Half Dome, two colossal rock formations, constantly draw climbers from everywhere to challenge their nearly vertical faces. Yosemite Falls, one of the tallest waterfalls in North America, leaves every visitor stunned by the overwhelming force of its cascading flow. The trails wind through flower-filled meadows, ancient sequoia groves, and mountain passes, continuously revealing breathtaking views of Yosemite Valley. Finally, the Glacier Point overlook offers a vast, overwhelming panorama of the surrounding peaks and abysses. From this spot, you truly feel the immense grandeur of the entire landscape in its pristine magnificence. New York City. Nicknamed the city that never sleeps, this is truly the cultural, artistic, and commercial center of the entire world. From the Statue of Liberty to Times Square, every street corner carries something special to share. Central Park is a rectangular green space amid a sea of concrete, where friendly squirrels run right up to passers-by. Broadway stages the world's greatest theatrical performances, while Harlem is renowned for its deep musical and cultural heritage. But the most beautiful moment comes at dawn, when the sun rises perfectly aligned between the skyscrapers, a phenomenon locals call Manhattan Henge. When night falls, millions of lights transform the metropolis into a galaxy beneath the earth. And beneath the bridges, the East River still quietly flows as it has for centuries. Bryce Canyon Region. A vast natural amphitheater suddenly appears, displaying thousands of hoodoo stone pillars rising from the ground like ranks of stone warriors standing in formation. The erosion process has tirelessly worked for millions of years, carving sharp spires that change color with every moment of the day. When dawn breaks, the light turns the entire canyon into a blazing ocean of hues, while shadows dance among the narrow fins. The trails that descend all the way to the bottom allow hikers to weave between the pillars, observing every exquisite detail up close. Here, each geological layer is successively peeled back, recounting the journey of ancient lakes and rivers that shaped the land, while proving that persistence and endurance can give birth to the greatest masterpieces of natural art. Hawaii. a tropical archipelago made up of many islands, each possessing its own irresistible, distinct character. This land in the middle of the Pacific Ocean brings stunning landscapes, profound culture, and a special bond with nature. Oahu, the most famous island, combines the vibrant pulse of Honolulu with pristine beauty. Here lies the long Waikiki Beach stretching beside a modern skyline. Yet it also has the North Shore with giant waves that draw surfers from all over the planet. Visitors can go to Pearl Harbor to understand an important chapter of history, or stop by the Polynesian Cultural Center to immerse themselves in Pacific traditions. Maui, often called the Valley Isle, stands out for its landscape diversity. Watching sunrise from the crater of Haleakala is an unforgettable experience. The road to Hana winds through rainforest, cascading waterfalls, and mysterious black sand beaches. This place is also ideal for snorkeling among coral or relaxing on picture-perfect beaches. Kauai, nicknamed the Garden Isle, is truly a paradise for nature lovers. Waimea Canyon, compared to the Grand Canyon of the Pacific, leaves anyone in awe. The Nepali coast, with its emerald cliffs plunging straight into the deep blue ocean, looks like a movie scene. And Big Island, the largest and most varied, possesses active volcanoes in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, together with beaches of green, black, golden sand. From Mauna Kea, you can even observe an incredibly beautiful starry sky. Hawaii is the heart of Polynesian culture, where traditional hula dances and luau feasts still burn bright and alive. The concept of ohana, family, here goes beyond blood, embracing community, far-traveling guests, and the surrounding nature. A trip here reminds us of the deep connection with the environment, while emphasizing the importance of cherishing and protecting the planet's beauty together with ancient cultural values. Here we have a small question for you. Which movie made the Philadelphia Museum of Art even more famous? If you are watching this video, please hit the subscribe button in the corner of the screen. It is completely free, but means a great deal to us. Sedona. Located in Arizona, this town rises from the desert with scenery so rare it is almost unbelievable. Towering red rock formations stand amid arid land, creating striking outlines against the clear blue sky. When the sun rises and sets, the light turns them into blazing pillars of fire of stone, an image that always draws visitors and spiritual seekers from everywhere. Many believe that hidden among the canyons are energy vortexes, places that attract those who wish to heal or connect more deeply with their inner selves. Countless trails lead into pristine nature, inviting exploration on one's own 2 feet. Meanwhile, the town center blends art galleries and upscale shops. This is the meeting point between traditional Wild West and the modern world. Nature reveals its most dramatic power, while visitors find space to breathe, reflect, and regain balance. Houston, the 4th most populous city in the United States, spreading across the vast eastern Texas plains. It first grew from an important port, then became the energy capital thanks to the 1901 oil discovery at Spindletop. The Museum District gathers 19 cultural institutions within walking distance. Among them, the Museum of Fine Arts that preserves works from ancient Egyptian artifacts to contemporary art. Nearby, Herman Park has a Japanese garden with arched bridges and murmuring streams that bring tranquility right in the heart of the metropolis. Here, up to 145 languages are spoken, and cuisine from every corner of the world is available. Neighborhoods pulse with Tejano rhythms, hip-hop, country, while food trucks serve tacos and barbecue until early morning. Oregon coast. A wild and majestic coastline stretching nearly 600 kilometers along the Pacific Ocean, possessing some of the most beautiful coastal scenery in America. Sheer cliffs overlooking the ocean alternate with golden sand beaches, while rock formations like Haystack Rock at Cannon Beach create unforgettable marks under a shimmering sunset straight out of a fairy tale. Temperate rainforests spill all the way down to the water's edge, creating a stunning contrast between deep green and the blue of the sea. Ancient lighthouses, silent witnesses to centuries of crossing waves, are scattered along the entire shore. State parks such as Ecola or Cape Lookout open trails with unmissable panoramic ocean views. Finally, the small coastal towns from Astoria to Newport still retain their old-fashioned charm with characteristic harbors and cozy artisan shops. Monument Valley. Straddling Arizona and Utah, The scenery here feels like stepping straight out of classic cowboy movies. Massive red beauties rise from the ground beneath a deep, clear blue sky. The road cutting through the valley constantly delivers breathtaking views that shift with every ray of sunlight throughout the day. Dawn dyes everything fiery red, while sunset turns the sky into a mystical purple. For the Navajo, the indigenous inhabitants, this land holds profound sacred meaning. The silent rock formations quietly recount legends thousands of years old. The desert is so quiet that only the wind whistling through the rocks remains, exactly as it has for thousands of unchanging years. This place is a journey that touches the soul, making you feel truly tiny before the grandeur of nature. Asheville. Nestled among the Blue Ridge Mountains in the American South, this is a small city brimming with personality where art and nature blend in a rare way. Every street corner bursts with murals, galleries, and local artisan shops. The biggest highlight is Biltmore Estate, the largest privately owned mansion in the United States, taking visitors back to the country's dazzling era of prosperity. All around lies stunning natural scenery. From here, you can easily begin a drive along the Blue Ridge Parkway, the famous scenic route with spectacular mountain vistas. This place carries a free-spirited and creative vibe, yet fully retains the friendly, warm charm typical of the South. Miami. A metropolis overflowing with energy and color, where cultures intersect in the most vibrant way. It carries a Caribbean breath, yet still exudes American-style luxury. The South Beach shores with white sand stretch like an open-air catwalk where everyone shows off their bodies and style under Florida's blazing golden sun. The Art Deco district stands out with its dazzling buildings from the 1920s and 1930s. Little Havana transports you straight into a real corner of Cuba, the rich aroma of coffee, hand-rolled cigar smoke, and old men passionately playing dominoes on the sidewalk. Wynwood is a paradise for art lovers with walls covered in graffiti and modern exhibition spaces. When night falls, neon lights explode. Latin rhythms invite everyone to dance until dawn. Here, joy is elevated into a living art, and cultural diversity is celebrated on every single street. Las Vegas. In the middle of the Nevada desert, this metropolis shines like a colored light mirage made of countless promises. A city that never closes its eyes, where the Bellagio fountains dance beneath the desert sky. A miniature Eiffel Tower rises beside an Egyptian pyramid. Behind the blinding casino lights, world-famous chefs create culinary masterpieces, while Cirque du Soleil artists defy the very laws of gravity. By day, the surrounding red desert tells a completely different story. The story of a primal landscape carved by time into canyons and valleys. This place is a bold experiment, a metropolis that turned dust into everything, where every night is a grand performance and every dawn brings fresh surprises. Seattle. Wedged between Puget Sound and the Cascade Range, this metropolis is nicknamed the Emerald City, thanks to the evergreen forests that surround it year-round. The Space Needle, the soaring tower, stands as the symbol of this place's forward-looking vision. Pike Place Market is a bustling market overflowing with life, with fresh fish counters, vibrant flower bouquets, and the rich aroma of coffee. Music plays a vital role. This is where grunge was born, and to this day the music scene remains relentlessly vibrant. It is also a technology hub with giant corporations like Amazon and Microsoft. Yet the people remain deeply in love with nature and work hard to protect it. Every neighborhood has its own personality: youthful and stylish Capitol Hill, quirky and artsy Fremont. Though often linked to rain, this city always knows how to shine, creating a unique blend of nature, culture, and innovative spirit. Joshua Tree National Park. Two deserts meet at this corner of California, forming an ecosystem where every living thing must find ways to survive in harsh conditions. The Joshua Tree, actually a giant yucca, stretches upward with twisted branches resembling arms raised in prayer. Rock formations jut out of the ground, piled into bizarre shapes that seem to defy gravity itself. Visitors climb over boulders, exploring caves and passages carved by erosion over time. When sunset falls and the temperature cools, desert animals emerge to hunt. Here, plants and animals alike have evolved special ways of life to thrive in a land of relentless drought and scorching sun. San Antonio. The cultural heart of Texas, where Spanish colonial history intertwines with Texas pride and vibrant Mexican-American atmosphere. The Riverwalk. The system of paths along the San Antonio River is the beating center lined with countless restaurants, shops, and boat rides. When night falls, twinkling lights adorn bridges and trees, turning the water into a magical painting filled with lively music and seductive food aromas. The Alamo, symbol of the Texas fight for independence, tells a moving story of bravery and sacrifice. The Spanish Missions, recognized by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites, open a window onto the distant colonial era. The journey continues to the Pearl District, a former brewery reborn as a stylish urban hub, proof of the city's new vitality. With its special blend of heritage, culture, and modern life, this place offers an authentic Texas full of delightful surprises. Pittsburgh. Risen from the ashes of the heavy industry era, this Pennsylvania city astonishes with its completely transformed appearance. Nestled between three rivers, it possesses a unique urban landscape that looks most enchanting when viewed from the historic Duquesne Incline. The skyline, once hidden by smokestacks, now sparkles with modern high-rises reflecting brilliantly on the water. Birthplace of Andy Warhol, it proudly boasts pioneering art museums and a booming food scene. In neighborhoods like Lawrenceville and East Liberty, old warehouses have become chic lofts and bustling craft breweries. Meanwhile, Phipps Conservatory clearly shows the determination to build a green, sustainable future. This is a journey that shatters every stereotype, where a steel past merges with an emotionally rich present, inviting you to discover a metropolis that has reinvented itself while keeping its original soul intact. Bonneville Salt Flats. A vast white salt plain stretching all the way to the horizon, like an ocean turned to stone by time, formed from the remains of a gigantic ancient lake that once covered this area 13,000 years ago. The water evaporated completely, leaving only a thick, perfectly flat layer of salt where speed reigns supreme. Every year, Racers flock here to break world records with aerodynamic vehicles, taking advantage of the flattest surface ever seen. The intense heat makes the air shimmer, producing mirages that blur distance and space. In the rainy season, just a thin layer of water turns the entire area into a gigantic mirror, perfectly reflecting sky and clouds. This salt flat is living proof that nature can create surreal spaces, a landscape that constantly changes and never stops challenging human imagination. Grand Teton National Park. Located right in the heart of Wyoming, this national park possesses one of the most impressive mountain landscapes in America. The Teton Range suddenly shoots upward from Jackson Hole Valley, forming a jagged, sawtooth skyline that reflects on the crystal-clear highland lakes. The iconic Grand Teton proudly dominates the horizon, challenging every climber and photographer. Wildlife thrives here with herds of bison roaming calmly across the prairie, moose drinking from streams, and grizzly bears lumbering through deep forests. The journey to discover the United States has come to an end. Through the blinding sandstone arches of Utah, the serene sequoia forests, all the way to the jazz melodies of New Orleans and the wondrous Pacific coastline. Every stop has been a piece of nature and civilization, reminding us to live peacefully, to feel the wind, to honor heritage and the indigenous communities. If you loved this journey, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so we can continue new adventures together, where every land lifts its veil to reveal another story and another beauty waiting just for you to uncover